grip our nation. There's no compassion. So tell me, where's the love? Social injustice, secret motives.
All right, what's going on? What's going on? We're right back. Late night with Jervis Loud Worldwide and Paula G, the voice. What's up, Paula G, the voice? How you doing? Now, Paula don't want to talk. I know. Paula, what line you on? I never know what phone you calling me on. All right, I don't know what line she on. All right, we'll get back to Paula in a minute as soon as she let me know what number she's in. See, people be calling me. You gotta listen to us on Spreaker Radio or Facebook Live. You can't call Batman because then he don't know what line his guests are on. All right, stay tuned, y'all. We waiting on Paula G. Okay, there go Paula G right there. She coming on another line. Never seen that number before. All right, Paula G, what's going on? What's going on? How you doing?
I'm on the same line every week, Batman. I'm fine. How are you?
No, actually, it's saying something different today. It say great neck.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what that is. That's the same number.
Okay.
Same number, but anyway, how are you?
Batman is good. It was a great day. Great day in Batman Land in Charm City. How was your day?
That's good. That's good. You know what? Every day is a beautiful day. Every day you wake up and get up is a wonderful, fabulous day. I work from home today, so got a lot accomplished. I got my case notes done and my files done, and so it's a good day.
Yeah, a good
no
day.
Complaints.
In Paula G's world. That's right. That's awesome. I'm very excited for some of the things that's been happening for Positive Power and some of the connections and collaborations that's going on with us right now. And I know, you've been really happy in the direction you've been. You want to share some good news with our listening audience?
Oh, yes. With WATC and TV 57, I have to give them a shout out for my journey with Paula G. It just continues. The show is just continuing to grow. The audience is continuing to grow. You all are continuing to support us, and we thank you all so much. We are preparing for our live taping in October, as well as next week. I'll be up in the D.C. area, July 26th, 27th, and 28th, taping several episodes. How many episodes are we taping next week?
Ooh.
Taping a few episodes.
Yeah, we got a few episodes. Yeah, we should be good between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We should come out good.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of guests that we will be interviewing, and I always enjoy being in the studio. It'd be good to be back in the studio. We've been recording some of the shows here in the Atlanta area, but I'll be back in studio next week, so I'm excited about that, and I'm excited to meet my guests and have opportunity to speak with my guests. We've gotten some new underwriters since our last taping, Creekside Dental, and we're appreciative of having them. I actually will be out there in a couple of weeks, so I'll be doing a live, Facebook Live at Creekside Dental, so y'all get a chance to see. Y'all have to see this dental office. It is like you think you're walking in a spa. Everything is just so serene and peaceful, and they got the little massage chairs and the massage blankets, and it just makes you feel comfortable because, a lot of us don't like to go to the dentist. We don't like to go to the dentist. But they're just great people there, so I'm appreciative of them. My coffee shop is back on board with us, so we're happy to have my coffee shop back. Also, shout out to Dr. Paul and Marcia Kelly, just been a constant support, throughout this whole entire journey, and I'm so appreciative of them. Just wonderful, wonderful people of God, and also Clark Garrison right here in the Atlanta area with Survival Radio Network and Clicks Photography. Just the support has just been phenomenal. It just speaks to when you're doing what God has gifted you to do, and He starts opening those doors. That's your confirmation, y'all. That's your confirmation that you're walking in the right path and moving in the right direction and doing what it is that He's called you to do. So I'm excited about coming to the Bat Cave next weekend.
That's right.
See all my guests, meet some new guests.
That's right.
And Brandon as well. I got to give him a shout out. LUSU Design.
Lusu
Design.
Lusu.
Yeah, he's like a standard. Brandon is like a standard interview. Every time I come over, I have to have a conversation with Brandon because he is just so deep, and a lot of what he says is so profound. So I told him every time I come to town, if he's around, you know, we're going to sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah, we got to get him in on Sunday then. Yeah, we get him in on Sunday. Try to get him in on Sunday, so we're going to try to load up on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yes. So got to fly out Sunday night. But it's just been an amazing journey. It's been a wonderful journey, and I just have to give you all the kudos and the thanks and the appreciation for this journey, for your support, for seeing the vision, Positive Power 21, Music Vision Television, all of it. You know, God has just put so much inside of you, and you are a prime example of someone when they're utilizing their gifts, what could happen when you are utilizing your gifts. Y'all have heard me say this before, that Miles Monroe has said the richest place on the planet is the cemetery, because so many people go to their graves having not utilized their gifts. Jerry Worth Live Worldwide, a.k.a. Batman, is utilizing his gifts, ladies and gentlemen, and it is blessing millions of people with all the programming, the TV, the radio programming, the documentaries, the live remotes, the special programming, all of it. It's just blessing so many people because, you know, you put out so much content and there's so much variety that it reaches the ears of all different people. You know, one show, people may not be able to connect with one show, but they'll be able to connect with another show. You know, they may not be able to connect with maybe a documentary, but they're able to connect with a live remote, you know, something that's said or seen at a live remote. So shouts out to you, Batman, for all that you do for so many people. Yeah,
you know, it's funny. I was sitting down writing down all my skills. I think I sent it to you. And it actually scared me. I was like, wow, you know, thinking, you know, when I went to engineering school, you know, of course, it was a blessing to get into a high school. And of course, Stephen Turner was my classmate. I don't know how he utilized his skills, but Stephen has a very intelligent mind, very detailed. And of course, you know, he likes to challenge people's minds and their actions. And he's always been that way. And that school taught us to be that way, how to think outside the box and how to challenge people to be better than what they are. And I always try to outdo myself. I'm not even trying to challenge nobody out there. Nobody. You know, matter of fact, I'm hoping that there's someone out there that I can say, oh, wow, I want to try that too. You know, I think God has built a lot of us really, really different, but he built us for a purpose, you know, and people shouldn't just look at and marveling what someone else is doing. That gift is for you too. You know, we just don't understand because we've been so busy entertaining the Joneses theory for so long that we don't understand that person's blessing is also your blessing too, because you are a child of God, just like they are. Yeah. But sometimes, because it's funny, because my neighbors and I, we are really, really close, my neighbors, and they'll tell you straight up, what is theirs is yours, you know, just like that. You know, like I was just talking to my neighbor today, and just like, I mean, he felt so bad with what just went down. He said, you know what? My son want to invite you guys to some club seats with the Orioles. Like, you know, you be right in there with the big wheels, eating food and, you know, enjoying the game inside. You don't have to worry about being outside. I was like, wow, really? Yeah, I'm gonna take you and your wife. You know, how often do you guys want to go? You know, that kind of stuff. You know, so you really appreciate those kind of blessings. I mean, it could be that's something real small to someone else, but that's the world of sports. You know, that's like that's our city team. You know, so we're looking forward to doing that and hanging out with him and his wife. You know, fellowshipping and meeting other people, and you know, see who else you can collaborate with. But God has been really good. I just looked at that as a gift because I wasn't even thinking about going to an Orioles game today, especially when the temperatures being up in the 90s and hearing my neighbor say, hey, we're going to be inside watching the game. I said, wow, that's God. You know?
You know that is a blessing indeed. Be inside cool, fellowship, and watching the game. That's all right.
That's right. That's going to be nice.
That's all right.
Man.
Yeah, but it just speaks to those open doors and how, we've got to focus on what it is that God has put inside of us for us. And I think sometimes we get distracted. We start comparing. I was listening to this sermon yesterday, by Pastor Ricky Temple, and he was talking about how, sometimes we get so distracted by comparing ourselves to others that we don't focus on what it is that's within us, and what it is that's within us that we have to nurture so that can grow. And we hear it all the time. What's for you, what is for you, what God has for you is for you. We hear that so often, but we really have to allow it to marinate in our spirit and know that what he has for us is for us, and it's okay, and it's not the same that somebody else is going to have. So we can't be tripping about what they have and what we don't have, and how much farther along they are than we are. You got to stay in your lane, focus on what it is that you do, because you are especially equipped to do that thing that God has placed inside of you.
That's right. Be proud of your brothers and sisters for stepping outside the box. I mean, we already got enough thugs and criminals out here. They'd be happy for someone doing something positive that's lifting up our people. I mean, and my main goals right now is we're going after the youth. I mean, I already announced earlier today that we're going to be working on a talent showcase for the young people. Of course, everyone of different ages can be part of that because, we are a platform that engage entertainment on a gospel and Christian level. So we're going to, all the invitations open at any age. But we're just so excited about that because this venue is supposed to be really, really nice. And they just totally turning the keys over to Positive Power, which was like incredible. I mean, they did everything over the phone. They gave us the date, the time for auditions, when we're going to have the show. We're going to get the kids to design the flyers. It was just incredible. All that happened like in 15 minutes. I was like, wow, that's God. That's God right there.
Yeah.
Glory. So
when you're doing, like I said, when you're doing what He's called you to do, and you're focused on doing that, I'm learning that on this journey. I'm learning that on this journey of staying focused on the opportunities, that He's placed before you, and staying focused on those opportunities and honing your craft, working on your craft. That's right. Practice.
Work on it, learn, research. That's right. Research, read. And another thing that was so incredible today too. I always think about what Wayne Dwyer said before his passing. He said, God didn't put you here to do what you do alone. He put all these other brothers and these beautiful people out here to collaborate with you and help you. Because the bottom line is we giving Him all the glory when we become successful and we receive our accomplishments. It's all about Him. And the thing about it was so funny today. I didn't put no efforts in today trying to push another television opportunity, another contract. And then someone contacted me and said, guess what? I got you a deal. For the Lakeisha Mosley show, for the documentary, it's going to be airing on a cable network. And I was like, what? And that's in the area where we're doing business, which was so incredible. So that was another thing I didn't have to worry about. And I was like, get out of here.
Yeah, and shout out to Lakeisha. Lakeisha has just, the doors, like I said, when the doors open, she's a prime example. When you are walking through those doors that He opens and you're doing what He's called you to do when He has opened that particular door for you, and when you walk through, oh my gosh, my sister, I'm so proud of her. She is just blown up.
I'll never forget. And I know we got few seconds. We got a few seconds because I know Timolin ready for our interview. I just never forget that day when she came here for your interview, and I forgot that Dr. Nusra said she was coming. So when I opened the door, I was like, what is this news anchor woman doing at my door? And I'm looking for cameras or something. She came in so prepared. I was like, right. I forgot that we was doing that. She just completely wowed me. That was a real deep first impression of someone that's serious about what they're doing. She came in looking like an author, looking like she was ready for TV.
Yes, she did.
So I was
she was focused.
Yes. So, and look at her now. Yeah. Just a few months later. Hey. I mean, how long ago was that when we first met? Was that November?
A year, a little over a year. No, yeah. It was. Well, maybe it was November.
And look at her now.
Maybe I want to say it was March, but maybe it was November.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was really nice weather. I mean, now she has a very, very nice polished radio show and now her television production. I mean, one time, just remember, she was roaming the streets of Baltimore with me doing media coverage, and now she has her own platform. And now we're actually building a set for her as we speak, so we can start keeping up with the episode. Wow. Well, look, Batman got shut down. We could talk about Lakeisha all night. Time to bring Miss Timolin on. I just want to say hello to her because I see her, this beautiful woman, on social media all the time. And I'm going to be in Arkansas. I don't know how far that is from Tennessee, but I hope I have an opportunity to meet her one day. And hello, Timolin, how are you? Welcome to Positive Power.
I am doing great. Hello, Jerry, the Batman. I finally get to speak with you.
That's right.
I'm excited. And hello, Miss Lovely Paula G.
Greetings, my sister. How are you?
I am blessed and happy tonight.
Awesome. Sorry it went over a little bit over your time, but me and Paula, we talk every day, believe it or not. But you wouldn't think so.
Believe it or not.
Well, I enjoy what I heard. So you guys are right in line with some of my thinking and thoughts. So it was great to listen to you guys.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing what you got to say. So Batman's on me. So I'm going to enjoy the show.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to Late Night Radio with Jerry Royce Live and Paula G right here on Positive Power 21. I'm so excited to have this young lady with us this evening. She's the owner and CEO of Tag Entertainment Group. She has over 8 years of experience working in the roles of management and branding, marketing, public relations, and consulting. And she also has a passion in a few other areas, which she is going to share with us. So we welcome to Late Night Radio with Jerry Royce Live and Paula G, Timolin Atkins. How are you? I'm so glad that you're with us.
Thank you. I am super excited tonight. Thank you, guys.
Yes. So share with us a bit. You have a passion for guiding the careers of independent artists. So share with us a bit as to how you go about doing that.
Okay. Actually, as far as pertaining to independent artists, that passion came about. I think it's been there for, I could say really over the 8 years, that I've had my company and I've been in the area of entertainment. But I guess you could say it started out a very long time before that, when I got introduced to the area of just traveling around with my sister and supporting her in a role where she was in a group, and it was an independent gospel group, and I had the opportunity to travel around and support them. And I came to see that there were just so many talented independent artists out there. And I saw some of the struggles and some of the things that, they went through to get that support and recognition and so forth. And so I just, at that moment, at that time, being in that circle, my heart went out to them. And me just being the type of person that I am, wanting to support and to be there to help others, with them having so much talent, it was just natural for me to grasp on as time went on, and I was put in more positions to support, to want to do that for the independent artists.
Wow, that is a blessing, and I know they have been and continue to be blessed by you assisting them on this journey. And you and I both know on this journey you can run into people who can take advantage of you. and you're working hard, you're passionate about what you do, and it becomes discouraging sometimes. So, it's a beautiful thing to be able to have someone that can help you to grow that gift or grow that talent, while you're on this journey of doing what it is that that one has been called to do. So you've had a lot of different roles, or worked in a lot of different roles of branding, marketing, public relations, consulting. How have you seen all of that change over the years, especially with the changes in technology and social media? How have you seen that change, and how have you needed to make adjustments in order to kind of keep up with the with progress, as they say?
Right. The biggest change, of course, has been social media. Yeah. That's been a big plus. It's been a big plus. A lot of, from the beginning, you had a lot of, you had a lot of traveling, and you had a lot of things you had to do on your own to connect to the masses. Mm-hmm. So it was a much harder journey, of course, than what we see now with social media. And you're able to connect with just a click, a click here, a click there, and look, I'm connected to the world. So things have changed. Yeah, so absolutely. Things have changed to make it a lot easier and more accessible to the masses. However, we still have to continue to embrace some of those old ways of doing things with, having an artist, or even with your business, of getting out there, of connecting and, showing the world. And not just with, radio is definitely a great plus, but, getting out there and still traveling and putting yourself out there is still a major part. It's not just being dependent on all of social media, but, we switch, and we embrace, and we add too. So I just say, I look at social media and me and my role as, with PR and marketing, that is just, a plus to add on to what I already do, which is doing that one-on-one and that networking and relationship building that way. So I've had to change in those ways. And like I said, it's been a plus, but we can always go back to our grassroots of getting out there and touching and being accessible and letting people see your face, and, just having that human connection when I'm working on someone's behalf.
Right. So is there a big difference, or how do you navigate, perhaps working with someone who has grown up in all this technology versus those of us who have not?
Right.
Maybe aren't quite as savvy, in the social media. So how do you make that adjustment with them, or how do you navigate that, assisting them on that journey?
If they at this point they haven't been as, or a little bit older and not used to the modern technology.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, basically, we're there as a team, to help one another. So in the areas where an artist or a business, someone who owns a business, a small business, may not be, like you said, as savvy with today's technology and things of that sort, it is, my position in assisting them, to assist them, but also to inform them or to guide them that it doesn't matter your age, you still need to be informed and be, have that knowledge of how things work. You don't have to be the best at it. You don't have to, become an expert, but you have to know a little bit about it. But when you have a team and you're working together, that's where it comes in, where me with my knowledge or someone else on the team with their knowledge steps in to support. So it's always when you have that team and you have those people there too, that, we all support each other, it makes it a lot easier. Show that person how it is a benefit, but, the way that they've been doing also, come in with the younger generation and let them see how they've had a longevity or how things have been in the past, and see how putting those together, it makes them more successful.
Right. Wow. So when, an artist is on the verge of embarking on their career, what are, like, let's say, the top 2 or 3 tips that you would give them if they were serious about what it is that they're doing? If this is a journey that they're moving forward on and they're serious about what they're doing, what should they know coming out of the gate? Or what should they be prepared to do coming out of the gate?
Well, my recommendation and what I tell most artists and clients I work with is that there's important things. There's preparation, there's planning, timing, and budget building.
Ooh.
So those are some major, right? Those are some major areas to me, because you definitely need preparation. There's no rush. There's no time limit on this. God gave it to you. He wants you to be prepared. He wants you to bring your best self forward when you're going out there to represent Him, yourself, your ministry, your talent, what He's blessed you with. He wants you to be very prepared about with that. He wants you to have, when I say planning, He wants you to sit down, make that checklist, and make sure that everything that you do, you're planning what you do. You're not just rushing out there with no plan whatsoever. And preparation and planning goes together, of course. And then with timing, we can prepare ourselves, but and an artist can prepare themselves, but you want to make sure that timing is right. So if you're out there and the timing is not right and you're trying to release all these talents that God has blessed you with, if the timing is not right, you can mess up some things along your destiny journey that was not meant for you, not meant to be, for you to step into that area at that time. Not to say that you won't ever be able to utilize those talents that you have, but it's in that timing, making sure that what you're doing falls in line with that destiny journey and those things that those doors God has opened for you. And then, of course, lastly, I stated the budget building. Budget building means that you have looked at every area that it takes to get your project out, to get your single out, to get yourself out. And you take a checklist, you've researched, and you saw what those prices are. What is it going to take? What level am I really trying to achieve with my ministry and my career? So you want to make sure you have that budget put together. You want to make sure that you're starting to gather and save and do whatever it is that you need to do in order to have that budget ready, so that when you step out there with your preparation, planning, and timing, you're on point. It makes it so much better for artists, especially if you don't have a representation at that time. But then if you did have all that together and you had representation, it makes it all the the best for you and for the team that you'll be working with.
And those are really excellent tips, because I believe that there are so many that get so excited about utilizing their gifts and stepping out, on the horizon, and I'm finally have this opportunity to use my gift, and I'm just going to go out and I'm going to minister, and they do so without preparing or planning or discerning that timing, and the budget is huge. That is huge. Looking at the budget, because all this costs a couple dollars.
Right.
A couple dollars. So it's so crucial to really, the Bible tells us that patience is a virtue, and it's so crucial to be patient and to be still and be prayerful about these things before stepping out and embarking on them. So not only do you have experience and have worked in PR, you've done PR work, but you've also you have a background in small businesses as well as real estate. So how does all that tie in? Or was that a previous lifetime?
Well, I can say this. I continue to be a multiple business owner. So the real estate part of it is property management. which still allows me to be very helpful in my role between an investor / landlord and his tenants. So I have the opportunity to assist in that area, and it goes along with what I do. I love to support. I love to see things work and work for the betterment of everybody. So being in that area of real estate, what just came easy for me. And I knew that, and I had that before I really and truly was all the way into the entertainment area. So that was just a love that I had for real estate. And really and truly, I started out wanting to be a realtor. The market changed at the time, and I decided, let me just be that liaison between, an investor and who's going to be in their home. And that way I can, truly be that middle person to make things work for everybody. And so I still do that. I love it. Time management is everything when you own multiple businesses and doing multiple things. So it helps in the sense, right. So it helps in the sense that what I do with the entertainment side and what I do as a property management owner is all of this with the way that technology allows me to be remote unless I have to physically be there, which I can. Unless it's pretty much an emergency, I can plan that out. So it helps me, right. So it helps me with my time management. It helps me to pass it along to my artists because I'm juggling other things, and I can help them as far as organizing and having their life in order. So not just am I there, to support in their career, but it's it tends to fall into that thin line of assisting with many facets of their life as well, because it all comes together as one. And where there's a lacking somewhere, it's going to be a lack somewhere else, a distraction. So we wear many hats, and So having that particular business and just having a background in business, marketing, it helps with everything that I do. So I could say everything that I've done in the past has brought me to where I'm now, and I just utilize all those skills to help me be successful when I'm assisting the artists and clients out here.
Right, and on top of all that, you still have a life.
Yes,
woman in America, every day, still have a life and deal with a lot of the same challenges that we all deal with, and when I hear you talk about what it is that you do, I can hear the excitement in your voice. And it is exciting to be able to be in a position to help people to nurture their gifts. Our motto on my journey with Paulogy is juggling the journey of life while walking in the gifts God has given you. And I always enjoy when, we have guests such as yourself who, you're sharing these are the gifts that God has given me. These are how I'm using them. And via time management, I'm juggling this journey called life while I'm walking in my purpose and I'm walking in my gifts. And that is so encouraging to people out there who are listening, who are maybe haven't kind of quite figured out how to make it all work. You just help somebody tonight. You help somebody tonight to get up off that sofa. And
well, I pray that.
Do this.
I pray that.
I can do this. Yes, I can do this. So tell us a bit about the independent connection. I like that. Independent connection.
Yes. The independent connection came about with me tagging myself as that PR diva. And yes, like that PR diva. A little bit of my personality in there. Right. A little bit of right. And so I have a business partner and a client, Tony D on the radio. And he came up with this idea, you say you're that PR diva, you love doing what you're doing and so forth, why don't you just start, you already have these synergy relationships with some of these artists out here who aren't yours, you support them, you're loving what you're doing. Why don't you just do something on another level where you can, feature them? And I'm like, Yes, independent connection. That's it. I am connecting these independent artists out here. And it just we just talked about it. It's evolved since last year. I love it. I never really saw myself as that person that would actually be on the radio and speaking.
Wow.
Because I've always been behind the scenes. Absolutely, I've been just the one behind the scenes, of course, pushing the artists and so forth. And it really helped. He helped me with the challenging me to go ahead, you can do this, and that nervousness that, you haven't been behind the mic. So, yes, and you have so many people listening, it's like, okay. So I really did, step back and think about all the things that I did, all the roles I have. And what do I do when I'm up here supporting these artists? I'm actually watching them. Yeah. So I thought, okay, so they don't have to come to me. I don't have to do anything. I'm just watching these independent artists out here. I'm not just watching and listening for your talent, but I'm seeing what are the other things that you are doing out here in the community. What are you doing with your ministry? What are you doing with all the gifts that God has blessed you with? And that's how I choose my featured artists. And so I listen to the music, of course, but I watch them. I watch their pages. I watch what they do. And that's how I come about, choosing who the particular featured artist is. And so it's giving them, free promotion on a lot of different platforms that, they wouldn't have. And I'm happy to do that. I really am. I'm happy to do that because it's so much great talent out here. And with the independent artists or emerging artists, whichever you want to call them, I just say they are amazing. And so I'm happy because I get to be around them. I get to watch them. I get to enjoy, the gifts that they've been blessed with. And so it's really my pleasure to watch them and to want to give them recognition for what they're doing out here for the kingdom. And so they are, as I say, repping the kingdom with excellence. So when I choose someone, that's exactly what I see in them. It's all the way around. It's not just how good they sound singing. And so that's what independent connection is.
Mm-hmm. And and it's so important when you were saying you watch them and you watch their social media and you watch what they do. That is really important in this business. Your brand, what it is that you put out there, how you project yourself, how you minister. All of that is important. And sometimes we just have to be mindful of that. Of what it is that we are portraying, because we're all, representing our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Right.
So,
right.
So, when you were talking, and I'm sitting here thinking, is there an artist that's sitting out there that's saying, okay, I wonder, she's watching, what is it that she's looking for? What is it that I need to do to catch her eye? What would you say to that?
Just continue to be you. Continue to represent on the level that God has shown you. He wants you to be out here representing Him. I can't really say, like I said, it's not just about your talent. It has to be from the heart what you do out here in the community. It has to be out here, and it has to be in your heart what you do for others. That's your ministry when you're out here showing how you are repping the kingdom, because we're children of God. You're saying that what you do is to glorify Him. I'm not looking at an artist because no one's perfect, but let me see what extra are you doing outside of singing to help build the kingdom and to reach others. And so that's what I'm saying. You naturally is going to attract me to you. So what you do naturally and from your heart is going to attract me to you. So there's not anything really that I could say do, but continue to do you as you see that God sees fit for you to do, and what you see as kingdom building. Because it's only through that natural you that I'm going to get the real you. So
Oh, I like that.
That's what I would say.
That authentic you.
Yes.
It's only through the natural you that you'll get the real. I like that. That works. That works. So share, we have a couple minutes left. So if there's anything else that you want to share with the audience or leave the audience with or encourage the audience, and I want you to make sure that you share your social media, website, and share with us how we can stay connected.
Okay, absolutely. I just want to encourage any artists out there to instill what I consider big faith. And big faith is just believing wholeheartedly in God and trusting Him. There'll be times where we waver, but ultimately you want to fall back on, do I really trust in His word? So you want to have that big faith as you go through this destiny journey of yours. Have focus in everything that you do. Mm-hmm. You guys touched on practice. Hum your talents and gifts every day, not just sometime, but every day. And prepare yourself. If you're preparing yourself for God to bless and open the doors for you, once He does that, if you're not prepared, that opportunity is going to pass you. So what you need to do is be in your lane, preparing yourself, because it could, with us, with business owners, whoever it may be, if we're preparing ourselves and we're staying focused on what He's called us to do and humming our gifts and talents, you could wake up the next morning or the next minute you're going through life and the door has been open and you have that opportunity right there, that one opportunity to get in and to do you and to get that manifested in what you've been preparing yourself for. So please stay prepared. Please keep that big faith. When you're out here, true network, and I want to just say this real quick, true network artists out here is not going to an event and just passing the card out or just saying hello. True network is you're connecting with someone. You are not leaving it just there at the event or wherever the networking event was, but you are actually following up with them. You're building a true relationship, whether it's with someone that you want as your management or if it's just someone that you want to collab with. You want to do that true connection. You want to have that real relationship where it can evolve into, where you guys are helping each other out. So it's very important that you learn truly what that when they say come here and network, that's true network. It's not just passing your card out. So it's very important that you build relationships and good relationships and be real in your relationships. Good relationships. Keyword, good relationships. Yes, good relationships. And as you're preparing, one last thing I want to leave you with, the audience with, whoever's listening, when you're preparing and you're planning, a great scripture that I love is Proverbs 16:3. It says, commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. Utilize that, Proverbs 16:3, as you are preparing and planning to go out here and touch the masses to represent the kingdom. And I'm telling you, it does great works for your soul and your spirit by feeding on this scripture right there. It helps me. Amen. Amen. Timolin Atkins, thank you so much for joining us on Late Night Radio with Jerry Voice Live and Paula G. You have truly been a blessing. It's been a wonderful conversation. And I look forward to seeing what God has for you in the future. Thank you. And just thank you so much for joining us. And until we meet again, my sister, embrace your journey. And thank you so much. I'm at Tag Entertainment Group. I'm sorry, on Facebook. Oh, yes. And on Instagram, Tag Entertainment Group, and on Twitter. And if they want to reach out, can they email you? Where can they email you at? tagentertainmentgroup@gmail.com. Okay. Got you. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. And make sure you all stay connected. Tag Entertainment Group. Stay connected with this lady. She is just wonderful. She's a blessing. And for those of you who are independent artists and you're looking for someone to
work with you and work with you on this journey, reach out. Timolin Atkins Tag Entertainment Group. You heard it right here on Late Night Radio with Jerry Voice Live and Paula G. We're going to take a break, and when we come back on the flip side, it will be time for the Christian Party Line, and my sisters are in queue this evening, and they are waiting to bless you. Shay Sams, I believe, is in queue this evening. Shay Samuels. Why I keep calling her Shay Sams? I know it's Shay Samuels. Shay Samuels. Lakeisha, I believe, is in queue. We've got a special guest this evening as well that will be joining them. And I don't know, I might hang around a little bit if I can stay awake. We'll see. I don't know. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining us. And, just make sure you check us out on all streams, iHeartRadio, Spreaker Radio. Don't forget My Journey with Paula G. Thursdays, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Sundays, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on WATC2.tv. You can also catch it on Hulu, Roku, Apple TV, Truly, Google Play, Jenico TV, all of those also on mvtv-21.com. You can go there and see all of the episodes of My Journey with Paula G, along with Lakeisha's show, Shay in the Red Room. I mean, there are so many things going on right now with Positive Power 21. It is amazing. So you all sit back, relax. We're going to take a break. I believe we're going to listen to a little music, and then we will be back on the flip side with the Christian Party Line with your host this evening, or this morning, Shay Samuels.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I live in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, Jerry Voice Live, worldwide.
You are listening to Jerry Voice Live, worldwide podcast.
Almost every night I was heavily burdened from the pressures of life. I didn't know what to do. I knew I needed you. Nothing was going right. Then you came like a dove upon me, whispered in my ear, child of mine, have no fear. With you, I will see you through. When life has knocked me down to the ground, I hold my head up high and I ask myself, why do I make it through? My confidence is in you. When life has knocked me down to the ground, I hold my head up high and I ask myself, why do I make it through? My confidence is in you. I will not be afraid. I'm starting over. You're my protection from the fall. And when I weep, you take it over so I can conquer it all. Then you came like a
Worldwide podcast.
whispered in my ear.
All right, what's up, Shay Samuels? What's going on? How are you?
That
Did I-
man, good morning.
Good morning. That scare you? it's late.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Good morning. I think you're just happy to hear my voice on a Friday morning.
Yeah.
Well, Saturday morning. It's Saturday now.
I was surprised. I thought you were still in studio all night. With under the fence, beyond the fence.
No, I was finished. I was finished pretty early today. My voice is out, but with everybody else out,
I figured I would go ahead and fill in the gap while everybody else was out. So that's what those co-producers do.
That's right. It look like the girls in the house ready to do their thing. And I need to switch you guys over and show y'all stuff on social media. Let me switch it over. Here we go. There we go. Oh, there we go. All right. Shay, so you working on a new project? Real quick, I'm going to just chat with you real quick before the girls come in and talk to you. So you got a new project?
No problem. I am. So I've been working on the project for a while, but I did 2 new songs today that really one of the songs like heavy on my heart a while ago. And my producer just sent Marcus Boyd. You know Marcus Boyd. Shout out to Marcus Boyd, super producer. He produced pretty much half of the album at this point. But he sends beats all the time, and so 4 of the beats, but 2 of the beats I grabbed a hold of and recorded them today. So I'm excited about that and for you guys to hear the new music.
All right. Well, I'm going to sing you my beat because Batman got a song. I need somebody to sing on it.
You keep telling me, but when I was in studio there, you had the song, you didn't play it.
We had time.
And then you're supposed to send me the song, you didn't play it.
All right, I'm gonna send it to you.
You didn't send it.
See what you could do with it, and then I could do my thing. Because my cousin, he's in South Africa, and he's been hitting me up every week saying, "When you gonna send the track so he can master it?" You know, 'cause that's what he does. He he does stuff for New York. But his studio's in Johannesburg, so that's how we've been connecting lately. All right, so Batman got me. That's right, Paula. That's right. Batman got a song. I may not be able to perform it live because I don't remember nothing. I can't remember nothing without notes. So I'm gonna have to do a video.
You can't be up on stage with notes and notepad and whiteboard.
That's what I told my brother when he told me he was going to do spoken word with his notes in his hand. I said, you can't do that on TV. Especially when you got 2 other people going to be doing the same thing, and they're going to memorize it. So he said, "You're right." Yeah, it's gonna be. We looking we just so excited, But this weekend we got the Keisha Mosley show on the set. Everybody's getting ready. It's gonna be challenging because it's gonna be a very, very hot day. Of course, we're gonna be by the water, so it should feel some good. But it's gonna be some challenges. But we're looking forward to it. Batman is excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys. Shout out to Lakeisha Mosley, doing big things in Chestertown, Maryland. You guys are doing big things all over the place, news articles, and shout out to Lakeisha.
Yeah, and the breaking news was the documentary that she helped me with is going to air on their television network, and we're talking about trying to get the TV series on there. So we're talking about that.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love you. You say it comes to pass.
That's right. Batman don't play.
Batman.
I'm not gonna throw who my minister is out there because he's not alive right now. And Paula know who it is, but he tells you all the time about the power within. It's like you have to speak this stuff to yourself. You can't, and you got to watch who you talk to about stuff. You can speak it, but you got to be careful who you speak it to. I mean, sometimes it could be people as closest to you as a spouse. They're going to have some doubt. And I remember one time, and I'm gonna say this real quick. I remember Wayne Dwyer said this one time, and this was before his passing, and this is beyond about the collaborating with people. People who have gifts to supposedly complement your gifts, and they're here for you and all that kind of stuff. But people got to remember sometimes the people closest to you really don't want to see you sometimes catapult, because then they feel like, oh my God, you won't be there for me when I need to talk to you or hold your hand or, whatever. And so they can speak, they can think it right out of existence or they won't give you what you're looking for back. And then it kind of kills the vision a little bit, because you walk away feeling, oh wow, maybe I shouldn't do that. And then it don't happen.
Obligated.
Yep. So I'm like real careful. And then one time you think about it too, when you say when your spouse is not there for you, think that they're not giving you no support. But sometimes God put people in your way sometime to push you. Sometime you may be looking at it as a negative, but it's really a positive. It's like, because it's supposed that spouse is jumping in the bandwagon with you, but they changing everything all around all the time, and then you find yourself fighting with them because they trying to change your vision. Because I know wifey poo would definitely change my stuff around for a fact. Because she used to change my homework. She used to change. That's oh, wait a minute.
Well, when I was in the studio today, it's ironic you said it. When I was in the studio today, the engineer was talking about his wife being incorporated into the studio, and he's now bringing his 2 sons in. And so while we were there, he didn't realize that they had changed a lot of his settings. Ooh. So we started recording. And he was, he was getting frustrated. But I told him, I mean, when you're incorporating your family into what you do and how you do it, Paula G talks about this a lot. Shout out to Lady Wisdom and Timolin Atkins, who just got off of their late night show.
Amen.
But Lady Wisdom talks about this too, about how, when we're teaching our kids to be creative and we're putting them in a position to really walk out their purpose at such a young age, we cannot rebuke them at that time, make them feel discouraged by telling them what they shouldn't be doing. And so Paula talked about this at the conference, and I think she was talking about a willow tree. Hopefully she'll chime in, but she was talking about a willow tree and how she would get spanked with the willow tree. I'm saying that right, but she wrote on the wall or something like that. So it was something that she kind of didn't do anymore. Maybe she knew someone that did it. But anyway, so he kept apologizing for it. And I would say, don't apologize for it, because you're teaching them to do something. And the fact that they're trying to do it on their own, you know how many children you try to get to do something and they won't even get up, get out of bed, or how lazy they might be just because they don't have the ambition and enthusiasm to do it. So I don't know. You just have to keep pushing. And make, like you said, make sure that because they were at odds. If he's listening, they were at odds at one point. Why? Because he didn't feel that she was a part of the vision, and she wasn't allowing him. He wasn't allowing her in his vision. So people can fill the vision. Well, not fill it, but people can talk against the vision, but they can also
dream killers
work in your favor at the same time.
Yes, and sometimes you just have to be careful with where you bring them in and be careful with the questions they ask. It could be intriguing or it could be just concerns. So with all that said, I'm excited because my daughter's Sky's actually going to go to Chestertown, and she's going to be Lakeisha's personal assistant. And of course, Jordan's there because he helps me run equipment, and Brandon's going to be there with Lusu. So the family is coming up, but we're leaving Nene and Mimi home. They won't be there.
Probably too hot anyway. Yeah, you probably did them a favor.
Yeah, them two will be pains. All right, well, it's time to let the ladies out of the queue and welcome Miss Atkins and Kelly Hollins in there. So y'all have a great show. And Batman, I appreciate you guys and love you very much and see you real soon. Amen.
We love you too, Batman. We love you too. Thank you guys so much. So, just in case you guys are wondering about my voice, I have been in the studio all day and I'm pretty much out, but I'm giving you my horsiness of the voice. So just love on it.
We're going to love on it.
Well, welcome everyone to the Christian Party Line. It's been a while since I've been on, but I've been behind the scenes supporting and loving on the ladies and you guys. And so I'm here and I feel at home. I hope Paula G stayed on with us for just a little bit. Fiji, you here with us?
I am here, voice of an angel.
Lady Wisdom after midnight. I still call you that, but I haven't had a chance to say it on a Saturday morning. Lady Wisdom after midnight, how are you?
Yes. I am absolutely wonderful. It is good to hear your horsiness voice.
I probably should have had some tea before I came on, but you don't really get the feel of it until like later on. Like I'm all pumped on adrenaline when I'm recording, and then finally it just relaxes.
It does.
It does. Bear with me.
Later. It kicks in later because I usually drink some like after if I'm doing voice work, and I'll usually have some after, and like you said, it kicks in later. Well, I'll do it before.
It would be like working out.
Yeah.
It's like you work out, but then you don't feel it until maybe like the next day you wake up and you can't walk. But yeah.
Yes.
That means the music's going to be good. Just take it for that. The music's going to be good. And we also have my sister Kelly Holland on the line with us. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning, sunshine. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not heard of Miss Kelly Holland yet, I got a chance to interview her on the new hit show, The Red Room, that I am hosting, another Positive Power 21 creation with the Batman, Jerry Royce Live, a.k.a. the Batman. But I got a chance and had so much fun with you in taping. And now you're here with us. Tell us a little bit about what you have going on.
Absolutely. And thank you again for this opportunity, Shay. I had a great time being a guest on your show, and I thank you again for that opportunity. Over here on my side of the fence, we are a organization that is a non-titled Life Academy, Inc. Life Academy stands for the Life Skill Institute of Finance and Education Academy. We teach financial literacy, workforce skills development, and we teach life skills to youth and adults, mainly those that are living in at-risk communities. Outside of that, I also am an author, and my current book that's on Amazon right now through ebooks is titled Hit Over the Head with Unspeakable. And that book is a quick read that helps you tap back into your unspeakable joy. It's an inspirational book, and very quickly it just touches on how I overcame a period of depression, a period of doubt, a period of hurt, a period of pain, and tapped back into my joy, found my strength, and overcame my challenges. And so it's just a testament to that. Outside of that, I like to speak. I like to be involved. I like to volunteer. And I'm all here for the community. So thank you again, Shay, for having me on your show.
It is a pleasure. It's a pleasure, and I'm looking to connecting with you more, of course. And we have the infamous, this beautiful lady. I haven't had the privilege of meeting her personally, but of course we crossed paths. Everybody crosses paths at some point on social media. But I support her. She supports me. We're sharing one another's stuff, loving one another's stuff. And she just had an opportunity to interview with Paula G on the late night show with Jerry Royce. Miss Timolin Atkins, how are you?
Hello, Shay. It is wonderful to speak with you verbally. Everyone tonight, I've got to hear you guys and talk to you. So it's been great. Thank you for inviting me on to talk with you tonight.
No problem. I got a chance to hear a bit of your interview with Paula G, Lady Wisdom After Midnight. So you have to call her Lady Wisdom After Midnight.
Yes, ma'am. Lady Wisdom After Midnight. I will never, ever forget that.
Lady Wisdom After Midnight. And so, Miss Timolin Atkins, for those of you who are just coming in on the midnight hours, late in the midnight hour. Yep. So she was talking about her ministry, business Tag Entertainment. Just give us a little bit of that info for those who are just coming in on the 12 o'clock hour.
Okay, I'm Timolin Atkins, and I am the owner and CEO of Tag Entertainment Group, all around entertainment industry company. I love all areas of entertainment. I am involved with management, marketing, branding, PR, consulting, just that whole support role that's needed for up-and-coming artists and clients in all areas of small business and entertainment.
Good. That's good. So if you guys are looking, guys and gals, because we always say guys, and I think the girls be like, I need some love too. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for assistance in any of those areas, please reach out to Tag Entertainment, Timolin Atkins, and you can find her on social media, Timolin Atkins, and everything else, Tag Entertainment. Is that group? Tag Entertainment Group.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I pay attention, see? I pay attention. So without further ado, we are going to do some shout-outs before we start. Tonight, what we do on the Christian Party Line, we're kind of the topic-driven conversation that we have, and I'm going to provide you guys with this topic. But I do want to give a special shout out to the ladies who are missing tonight. V Speaks Life, who has been putting in place to moderate. Thank you so much, V, for standing in the gap and moderating. And wherever you are, we're sending our love. Our sister Shalonda Williams, her father passed, and we're sending our love to you. She's with her family tonight. Chanel Lynn Malloy, who may pop on at a later time, but we are sending our love to you. And Patrice Jackson, we want to say that we love you, feel better. And Lakeisha Mosley, who is preparing for tomorrow. Jerry keeps her busy. He keeps us all busy. Let's just put it out there. But Lakeisha Mosley has been doing her thing over there in Maryland. So we love you, Lakeisha. You're behind the scenes telling us that you love us. So we love you, and we miss you all tonight. All right. So without further ado, we are going to talk about, it's been a while since I've talked about, like, in depth with these type of topics. And when I looked at this Lakeisha's here. Lakeisha Mosley, you're on.
Yes, I am. I'm here. So it's like, it's been a long day, but definitely I made sure I was here on the party line to share with my
sister. She is a trooper.
Well, we say, look, we really sound tired because Jerry working us.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Working the lady hard.
Real. No, let's just keep it. No, Lakeisha, I really appreciate you coming on tonight. You are going to be in Chestertown, Maryland tomorrow. Is that right?
Yes, on Sunday. I'm going to be there for the live taping of the Lakeisha Mosley show, but definitely preparing all day tomorrow for the show on Sunday. So definitely just keep us in prayer for our strength to give a phenomenal show, because it's really a great opportunity. I'm just so excited.
Always. And make sure Jerry has some snacks, okay? That's the only thing Lady Wisdom and I ask you. Make sure he has some snacks, which you should know. You should know by now. Okay.
Yeah,
so we're going to go right into,
be prepared.
We're going to go right into the topic tonight, because I know that everyone has something to do. But the topic tonight I love, and I'm going to talk about some of the key points. So the title is Gave Them Up, and it's coming out of Romans 1:24-32. It starts off with, in his righteousness, wrath, and judgment, God gives man up to the sin of our evil desires, allowing us to experience the self-destruction results of sin. This phrase is so important. Paul repeats it 3 times in the passage. We make a mistake when we think that it's God's mercy or kindness that allows man to continue in sin. I got to say that again. We make a mistake when we think that it's God's mercy or kindness that allows man to continue in sin. And I think it's, in this day and age, and I don't want to talk about the church as a body, but, as Christians, I think sometimes we kind of stray away from God forgives me because, let's just say ... I can do this because, or, God knows my heart. How many times have we heard that, ladies? You see somebody doing something there's a few excuses. So I'm going to just go around the room. There's a few excuses. Mine would be, well, not mine personally, but what I hear people say something like when they are in sin, like, well, God knows my heart. Timolin, I'm going to come to you. What excuses do you hear for someone who wants to stay in sin and thinks that it's okay?
Only God can judge me.
Ooh!
Mm-hmm.
Ooh! Kelly.
Oh, I'm not ready yet. To some extent, some version of that,
So if y'all are listening to this or you're watching this somewhere, Facebook Live, Speaker Radio, Spotify, wherever you're watching this, and this is what you say every day, you need to be paying attention. Lakeisha Mosley, what excuses do you hear for someone to actually want to they know they're in sin, but their excuse is what?
The excuse that I remember vividly is, I'm just starting. It's, God understands. This is really just what I'm doing right now. And in a couple of years, when I get it together, I'll be on.
Wow.
Lady Wisdom, you want to jump in on that?
Yes. God is not through with me yet.
I was waiting for that.
Right, that's the one I was trying to say.
God is not through with me yet.
Yeah.
I was waiting on that one because, the fact that we can act. I did a post a while ago. I was just driving down the road, and I always say the car is like my, that's where I get the most of my inspiration. But I was driving to work, and I just started thinking, confusion, how people talk about confusion. And I said, confusion is an excuse to stay in disobedience. But just like what we just said regarding the excuses that people use, the fact that you have to use it, that you are in error. The fact that to say, God ain't done with me yet. The fact that to say, God knows my heart. The fact that you choose to say, I'm a babe in Christ. I'm still a babe. That's like my daughter saying, I didn't know I don't do the dishes because I'm 6 years old. Well, I'm only 6. Well, she's not 6. She's 24, but I'm only 6. These excuses that we use. And so I want to talk about that. We make a mistake when we think that God's mercy or his kindness allows us to remain in sin. So, Lakeisha, I'm going to start with you because I want you to get off the line so that you can get some rest. But I'm going to start with you, and I'm going to go to Paula G., Lady Wisdom After Midnight. Why is it that we feel it's okay to stay in that sin?
I really, and none of you guys can relate to this. Honestly, I really feel like sometimes when we are in the condition, state of mind of doing it the same way over and over again, it becomes the norm, in a sense, of being dysfunctional, doing something over and over again that we knew was wrong at first. But as you keep doing it, it becomes the norm. If you understand, if I'm abusing you, the first time, man, I'm sorry. I'm going to send flowers. I'm going to, soothe you. I promise you, this. It's because I'm tired. It's because I'm, just getting all this frustration, and I took it out on you the first time. Yeah. And then the second and third time, it's like you didn't get that same sorry because it's almost like conditioned now of your dysfunction. That's just an example.
Okay. Apology, Lady Wisdom. I said I was going to come to you, but Timolin, I'm going to ask you this as a add-on to what Lakeisha just said, because like she said, it becomes repetitive. And then I believe that a certain level of conviction should come upon anyone who says that they are following Christ or they're a believer, that even though it's that what you're saying, it becomes habitual. But what about the conviction? Shouldn't there be a certain level of conviction for someone who understands, one, God's word, but two, that the Bible says make love your highest priority? Shouldn't there be a certain level of conviction that comes with that habitual offense?
Actually, yes. I mean, I agree with that. There should be that level of where you're actually saying this is not right. This is not the norm. I think that with us knowing that we actually are believers in the Word, we know the Word. We may not be babes in Christ, but what we continually to do and accept it becomes our reality. And and I look at it like that. The perception that you may have or what you continue to allow or do is based off of what has become your reality. And so the more that you do that, the more that you accept, the more that you make excuses, the more that you know you're being convicted. It's just what you have built as your own reality. And so that's how I see it. I view it as it becoming your reality.
Yeah, and that's a good point, too, because the excuses we named about 5 at the top of the conversation. Those are excuses, the fact that you have to say it. And it's funny because you say it to people that you know. You don't say it to the friends who are in the mess with you, right? You don't say it to the people. You don't say, God knows my heart to somebody that is running the same race you're running. You say it to someone that you admire, you know that they're walking upright, or you think they're walking upright, but you don't say it to people that you know. Kelly, I'm going to come to you with this one, but, you know, I love how, you know, we were talking earlier today about what you put into the earth, it gives that back. The earth gives that back to you. And there's a second part to this. It says it is actually his wrath that allows us to go on destroying ourselves with sin. We don't even realize. I'm going to read that again. It says it is actually his wrath that allows us to go on destroying ourselves with sin. So where we think that God is comforting and forgiving and putting us in a place of, well, go ahead and sit comfortable in this sin. When I read that, I thought about someone smoking cigarettes, or someone who drinks, and they drank all their lives up until a certain age, and then they ended up having some type of liver disease. And they're like, you hear those people say, well, I drank all my life, and now I got the liver disease. That didn't just happen. That didn't just happen. That happened over time. So what would you say about that? And it's actually his wrath that allows us to go on destroying ourselves with sin. How can you equate what I just read to everyday living, everyday life, in everyday sin?
See, that's the problem. Some way, shape, or form, sin is justified. And language that we use is very important because our words have very much strong power. And so when we sit back and we think how we're going to react to a problem, how are we going to react to a need, a desire, a lust, a habit, a routine, how do we respond to things when we want change? Well, my bishop says at New Psalmons that you have to get acquainted with your new reality. I'm getting accustomed to my new reality. And your new reality requires a difference of change and a difference of mind and that spirit of discernment. So you can tap back. Here I go, plug-in. Tap back into your unspeakable joy. And I say that easily and vaguely, but it is very much common. Case in point, women. Oh, here I go, being transparent. I was married for 17 years, recently divorced. What am I supposed to do about my grown-up time, my intimate time? Mm-hmm. How do I satisfy those desires? I've always had a husband, and now I don't. I'm divorced. Mm-hmm. I'm in my second year of discipleship. I'm a Christian. Good. What do I do? How do I handle this? Okay, that's a real frustration right there. Anybody that's been in my shoes, how do you manage that? You got kids, you go to the gym, you distract yourself. Yes. But what about those days when I'm not so strong? What about those Fridays when I've had a couple glasses of wine? What about when I'm pretty to someone and they feel like buying me dinner? What about those real life encounters that we have to experience as Christians? And do we call that sin? Do we justify those actions? You know, so it really comes down to, am I doing this to justify me, or am I putting God first and letting Him reward me? And that's where we seem to forget. And here, one more transparent moment, and I'll leave it alone. I was entertaining something. I'll just put it like that. And I'm a strong believer in God sending me messages. However, especially when I get in my car, it's just he and I turn that radio on, and whatever I need to hear, boom, there it is. I don't control the radio, so I take it personally. He's speaking to me through song. So when I go through all of that, and I hear songs about I'll make room for you, then I got to realize I haven't been in church in 2 weeks. Then songs like, you know what I mean? When God is showing you, you're not here, you're not present. Where is your mind? Are you distracted? Where have you been lately? You know, I'm going to let you fool around so you can see for yourself. But at the end of the day, are you going to come to me? Are you going to commit to me? Are you loyal to me or to your sin? So I war with that every day. Every single day I war with that. All day long I war with that. Wow. And hey, as long as I'm warring with it, I'm not committing it. So that's the best I can do right now.
Wow. And I thank you for your transparency because I feel when we do talk like that, and I love that we can do this on the call, you know, that the fact that we can be in a, you know, we can put ourselves, people need to know how real we are. I think that's the challenge in today's, you know, community of the body, in the body of Christ, is that we're not transparent enough. We want to show people the good side, but we don't want to show people the overcoming, the process that we're in, you know, that caterpillar cocoon process that we go in. And then you have people who are looking at us, even when we're talking about sin, the fact that you're, you know, oh my goodness, come on, that you are tempted with it, you know, and you're saying I'm warring with it. But then what we want to show people is, you know, we're sitting upright. We don't sin. I don't even steal a pencil or pen from my office, you know. And then you have people who are set up to model after that. Who wouldn't feel discouraged? Who wouldn't feel beat up? Who wouldn't feel that they would never get it right when all you're putting in front of them is this model picture of the perfect Christian, the perfect believer? It's not fair to the body of Christ, especially babes in Christ. Women want women who are transparent. And so, Paula G., Lady Wisdom After Midnight, I want to ask you this because as Kelly was talking, I was thinking about a person wearing dirty clothes, or I'm going to say, because at one point it has to be considered dirty. It's like you wore it, you know, you wore it the day before and now you wear it again. Somebody might consider that dirty, but to the person that's wearing it again might say, I didn't spill a drink on it. I didn't. So what do we consider, you know, they're looking at you like, well, what do you consider dirty? Because I didn't spill anything on it. In fact, the white shirt is not even dingy, so it's still, you know, you can get away with it for one. But when you were talking, Kelly, I was just thinking about someone who would put, you know, dirty clothes on. How long, and this is for you, Paula, PG, Lady Wisdom After Midnight, how long can you wear a dirty outfit before it starts to like cringe on your body?
You know, when my sister was just talking, you know, a moment ago, and I'm gonna answer your question in a minute. You know, I was just thinking about it. Really speaks to, we really have to be careful, and I'm just saying this in general. We really have to be careful about judging people. You know. Because I can remember, and as you were talking, I remember a friend of mine. It was almost the same thing that she was saying, that, you know, before, when she had been married over 20-something years, and she was very judgmental of single women until she found herself single, and then her whole perspective changed, and she felt convicted, you know, at that time, because there were some things that she was, you know, then struggling with, you know, as a single woman. So, you know, when we're all on this journey, we really, you know, have to be aware, and each of us check ourselves and not be judgmental, you know, of others, because our lives can change at the drop of a hat, and we find ourselves, you know, on the other side of a situation. So, you know, I applaud you for being, you know, so transparent, because what you say is real. You know, what you say is absolutely real for those of us, you know, been married 17, 20, 25, 30 years plus, and then you find yourself, you know, in a single situation. You know, it can be really real. But to answer your question about how long can you wear, you know, those dirty clothes, I believe that it depends, and it goes back to what we were saying before about what becomes your norm. You know, doing something for so long. You know, sometimes you could look at someone's clothes, and I work with at-risk. I think I heard my sister earlier talking about at-risk youth. I work with at-risk youth, and a lot of times, what I've found and what I've learned is that what is perceived as what could be perceived as dirty, for one, it is in fact the norm for another.
Yeah.
You know, so I think when it comes to dirty, you know, how long do we wear these dirty clothes? I think it's an individual thing in that we have to define for ourselves what is dirty. We have to look at ourselves in the mirror and define, for ourselves where we are, in this process, where we are on this journey, and how we define that determines when or if those dirty clothes come off.
Yeah. And that's really good, because somebody like me, my skin crawls. Like if I even put the same shirt on, and it's not to judge anyone, but like just knowing that I had it on yesterday, I think about where was I when I had this on? What was on me? I think of like I'm kind of OCD when it comes down to that kind of stuff.
Right.
But my brother, on the other hand, he can wear an outfit for a whole week. And put a whole pair of shoes on just to make it look good.
Yeah.
Spray some cologne on and brush his hair,
But I think too that sometimes I think that there's certain things that we look at that can be, and maybe I might be going a different direction than this, but as you're talking about dirty clothes and so forth, I've traveled, outside of the country and lived outside of the country, and we are really a sterile society. As Americans, we really are a sterile society. Whereas there are other cultures where, and I want to say this, I don't want to say this wrong, because there are other cultures where bathing on a daily basis is not necessarily a priority, because there are other life-bearing things that are a priority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think it really is. It's really contingent upon perspective.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you said that, because that's where I was going with it. It's all about perspective. The clothes, the dirty clothes that I was referencing, is like the sin that we carry on our backs. Yeah. We go out every day wearing what we would consider, and it goes back to what you just said to Kelly. You have to be mindful of what you think of others and how you judge others, because you don't really know what that person, or when you will be in that person's shoes. You don't know that person overcame. You don't know. We talked about it in previous shows where a young lady could be just coming from a strip club because God spoke to her right in that strip club, from the strip club to the church on Sunday, and had nothing else to wear, and the church will judge her by what she has on. Yeah. So here she's no longer even feeling natural in the environment that she was in. Come on. She's not feeling natural in the environment that she was in, and then she comes to what's new and she's feeling rejected there. So I think we really do have to be careful with how we perceive the way that we see someone's sin too. So that's the flip side of it, and that's where I was going with it. So it's easy to say that person is in sin, but how and why are we receiving it?
Yeah. I think there's a difference between, being like you were talking about earlier, the conscious, well, God knows my heart, or God is not, using those excuses versus, like you said, sometimes we don't know what has preceded what we see and perceive as sin. To your point of the example that you just gave,
So Timolin Atkins, I'm going to bring this to you because Paula, you guys are just bouncing off of one another. So Lady Wisdom After Midnight, what you just brought up a good point. Kelly brought up a good point, but let me just ask this, because then you have people who don't even know how to they don't even know where to begin to take that off. Like, okay, so we talked about that became the reality. We talked about, that's their normal. We're clothed in sin, and not righteousness. But how are we helping the people who are in that level of bondage? How can we help the people that's in that level of bondage? The people, and I'm just going to stick with the clothes because that's how God's given it to me. But how are we helping the people? How are we helping that person one by one to take those clothes off? One by one, those layers. Thank you. Those layers. How are we helping people to do that rather than judging them? How should we be helping them?
Okay. For me, who is it? For me or for Lady Wisdom?
For Timolin Atkins.
Okay. I'm sorry. So for me, just me saying from my perspective of dealing with someone and not being judgmental, and just wanting to help them get to the next level of their journey, and to, like you said, shed off of those things from the past. Now, in my role as someone who supports and someone who's there, and me not being judgmental is me looking at myself first. For one thing, is me looking at myself, seeing that, we all have challenges and struggles and things that we go through. What is it for me to judge another? Meaning, what is it for me to look down on them, to not want to help someone else who is struggling in a certain area that I may not be struggling of course, but that I can support them, I can encourage them, I can be that support that they need in order for them to, as you say, shed layer after layer. So if I have love in my heart, as the word says, and I go back real quick to Jeremiah 31:3, he says, I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with unfailing kindness. It's up to me to be kind to that person. It's up to me to want to share the word with them, to show them love, and to let them see that I'm no different from you. I have my own struggles, my own challenges, but I'm here, sister, brother, whomever it may be, to help you in an area that I may not be struggling in, but I can support you and help you. And so, that's the way I see it. It is for me to show that love to them, not to look down, not to talk about them, but to be there to help them get out of what they're going through, because they may help me in some areas that I'm struggling in. But we need to support each other, and we need to help each other move to the next level. Like you said, shed it, each level.
And that's what it's all about. It's like that one brings one. The school system has this pay. I don't know if it's the school system that's pay it forward, but I used to hear this all the time: pay it forward, pay it forward, pay it forward, pay it forward. Somebody did it for you at one point. We weren't always where we are. We can be on the radio, we can be doing whatever we're doing as far as our ministries are concerned, but somebody had to pick us up, and somebody's probably still picking us up every now and then. If we're being honest about it, somebody's still picking us up. Somebody's still picking us up. But there's a lot of people who are just bound in that sin. I want to ask you one more question, Tim, because I wanted to ask this before. But there's a part here that says, in every rebellion and every disobedience against God, we exchange the truth of God for the lie of our own. I'm going to read it again.
Read that again.
What happened there?
Right.
In every rebellion and disobedience against God, we exchange the truth of God for the lie of our own.
Yeah, we do.
That goes
oh
back
my
to
goodness.
We do.
Oh my
but think about it like this on a simple base. This is Kelly speaking. Am I feeling when I go to the market and I eat a grape? Yeah, I am. I might eat a handful of your grapes too before I leave your market. I want to know if it's sweet or not. It's like, is that feeling? I think it is on some minute level. And so when it comes down to me, sometimes I find myself as weighing the sin. And then I'm trying to figure out, well, David was going to kill. So if David was his favorite and he was going to kill, then I know me cutting his car off ain't that bad. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing? Like, are we measuring our sin? Because if that's the case, I don't think I can get through a day without one little itty bitty sin. I don't think I can. I don't think I have. I don't think in his word that he says we're supposed to.
Run late for work, you're going to run that stop sign or that red light. Tell the truth.
Okay. Consider it done. Consider it done. I break all type of laws on this road. See, and look, and then I'll give you court and I'll say, Your Honor. Last time I went to court, I said, Your Honor, I did it all. Please give me leniency. So, this is what happened. And he sure did give it to me. I said, look, one ask not, want not. Can you please be lenient? I'm sorry to go off tangent. It was just so funny when I was speaking that court.
That's what it's all about. We want to fellowship with one another. I promise you, whatever we say, I know that it blesses the listeners. And there's always just the fact that we can be that transparent. I mean, I go back to that because you don't get that in a lot of the ministry. You don't get it. You know, everyone wants you to see what they have. But Keisha Mosley, are you still with us?
I am, and I am woke. I mean, you're talking just truth right now and transparency. You know, that's what I'm all about. So, definitely, I am all ears.
Well, I do want to go back to you. I want to go back to you with we make a mistake when we think that God's mercy or His kindness that allows man to continue in their sin. It says, and it is actually His wrath that allows us to go on destroying ourselves with sin. I wanted to come back to that one with you. Because, you know, we deal with people. I go back to Job, right? Job did nothing. Job was in the middle of a barter between Satan and God. He did nothing. He was doing everything he was supposed to be doing, and God blessed him. And then one day it all was taken. And guess what Job's friends did? What they said, what did you do? That was the first thing they said. They knew his character. They knew that Job was an upright guy. I mean, for you to be partying with this guy the way that they were partying, and I'm saying this for, you know, in layman's terms, but for you to be with this guy's family, for you to be with, you know, you've seen how he's employed people, and that the very first sight of a fall, they automatically thought that he was in sin. How many times do we do that?
Oh, wow. We do that a lot of times, and it's so. I think it's really something that we do more often than others. A lot of times we judge folks because, oh, wait a minute, what happened here? You know, you lost this business, you lost this money, this income, you lost this relationship. What did you do wrong? You know, and most people, mind you, they're in business to be in your business. You know, a lot of times they don't know your personal business. They don't know everything, all what happened, right? And they're just kind of on the outside looking in, have no idea all the pieces of the puzzle, and they have no idea that it's just the attacks of the enemy. You know, we have a true enemy, and the enemy is attacking them too. So that's the thing. The enemy is attacking all of us in our different lanes in our journey, and a lot of times, because yours is out in the open right now, you know, I'm judging you right now, but a lot of times, you know, we forget that we were there before, and we forget that we were in that situation, and a lot of times we put our names on something and begin to comment on something that we have no idea their business. But a lot of times we forget that we're probably going through the same thing. You know, a lot of times I notice people when they judge, right, they say things and it's like they're going through the same thing, but mind you, their situation is like a reprobate mind. They don't see what they're doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So a lot of times they're judging you and they have no idea they're going through the same thing.
Thank you, Akeisha. That blessed me. That blessed me. That blessed me. That blessed me. I'm going to come to Timolin. Or do you not know that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God? Do not be deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor famines, homosexuality, nor thieves, nor covetousness, nor drunkards. He goes on and on and on and on. And I was, you know, because you guys do a lot of social media promotions and things like that. And social media has become one of those avenues where you got to protect your eyes. Oh, my goodness. You got to protect your eyes, which is connected to your heart and the things that you see. And sometimes I see things on social media and I'm very grieved about how distasteful. And this is people in the body. This isn't just like regular. Most of the people on my page are connected somewhere in the ministry, but to see certain things that come out there. But I want to go to the social media aspect of this because social media allows you to see what people want you to see. And a lot of that for me, it's not that it's in itself is sin, but because we're trying to mimic a life that people want us to see. I don't know why I always go to Atlanta Housewives, but that's like one of That's one of the things I'm like, everyone wants to be something that they cannot be. And you might have someone on social media, and I'm asking this to Timolin Atkins, but you might have somebody on social media who is really like faithful in their walk. Yes, we all sin, but this person might put up scripture every day. They might be doing some videos to encourage people. They might put up a quote to encourage. And you see, and I know I'm not like a numbers person, but you see like one like, and that's them. And then you see somebody say something that is sinful, distasteful, and it's about 145,000 likes. Am I telling the truth?
Hey, you are.
Indeed.
I see it too.
And
What do they call that? What do they call that keyboard? I said, what do they call that keyboard courage?
Ooh, that's a new word, Lady Wisdom. You just taught me that. Keyboard. Somebody hashtag that, please. Keyboard courage. Is that like the liquid courage?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. It's along the same line.
But so Timolin, that passage says, or do you not know that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God? When we're on social media, and I'm saying this because we have a lot of people, even on this line, who deal with social media every day, we have to be mindful of what we're putting on social media. Why is that so important?
I think your real personality comes out in social media because it's just a form of communication, a very distant, fictitious form of communication.
Okay.
But I, in my opinion, I think they're being completely honest, and that's the sad part about it. They're putting there, the who they are with a little, sprinkle a little fraud over it. But for the most part, that's what you're getting. If she's a HOE in real life, she's putting it on social media, and vice versa.
Wow. So that just says it. Or do you not know that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God? So women who on there like the HOEs and saying, we're not judging, we're just saying you have to be mindful. You have to be mindful. You have to be mindful. Ladies, we are at the top of our hour already. It's already 1 o'clock. It's already 1 o'clock. It's already 1 o'clock. Jerry, if you give us just a little bit of time, I do want to go around the room because we don't have a lot of women on tonight. I do want to go around the room, though, and just ask for some words of encouragement from everyone who, just based off of our topic tonight. And I want to keep it to the I like the clothing analogy, taking those layers off. So let's just talk about that, peeling the layers off. Let's inspire someone to start peeling the layers off and come out of that, what we make our reality, a reality. So I'm going to start with Paula G., Lady Wisdom After Midnight.
What I would say to encourage someone to take those layers off, because we all have them, is it's a journey. They were put on in the first place for a reason or reasons. When we have experiences in our life, and even when we sin, sometimes it's a result of other things. And so I would just invite everyone to, first of all, be kind to yourself. Forgive yourself. Ask God for forgiveness. And then ask Him to lead you and guide you in how to peel those layers off. And in the process of peeling those layers, you may expose some old wounds, and asking Him to lead you and guide you in how to heal those old wounds properly, so that once you shed those dirty clothes, you will not put them back on. You will not put them back on, but in the process, be prayerful, ask for that guidance from Him, ask for that wisdom, ask for that discernment, ask for that forgiveness, embrace that journey, and He will lead you and guide you to shedding those dirty clothes.
Amen. Lakeisha Mosley.
Mm-hmm. Amen. I remember a a dialogue that we talk about when it comes to agriculture and when it comes to plants and planting a garden. And a lot of times we see the roses at the end process, blooming. But there's a process that's going on in the seed, and then going into the ground, and fertilizing, and water is being put on that plant, and the process is growing. But we forget that, there's bugs, there's different weeds that back on, and we have to understand that that's a part of the process as well. So my encouragement is to you, as far as understanding, taking off the layers, is that is needed, and that's a part of the process. To never feel ashamed, to never feel worried, to never feel like you're by yourself, because in order for you to bloom a great garden of beautiful roses, and similar flowers, you have to go through the process and let those weeds root itself out and, uproot them, as a process of jealousy, as a process of anger, as a process of insecurities and selfishness. That is a process that, sometimes you won't understand it until you see it, until you see those weeds, until you see those bugs, you don't know to pull them out. So my encouragement is to let you know, look, we're all going through the process. You will see some deep, dark, and ugly, but understand that God already saw it before you saw it. So understand, just let the process grow. This is a marathon, not a sprint, and that God is in control. I promise you, you'll be a nice plant full of roses at the end of your journey. Yeah.
Amen. Kelly Holland.
Thank you. This reminds me of an old Sinbad joke. And Sinbad, he was to say when he was in college, there's dirty clothes and then there's funky clothes. And the way he put it, he said, dirty clothes you can wear again. That's what you threw on, didn't really do much in, and you come home, put it back in your closet. And then there's funky. Funky is funky, and you must wash it. Well, when I see people in that, and when I see people that are stuck in their cave, their metaphoric muddy mountain, stuck in those same clothes, stuck in that area of depression, stuck in that area of loss, I first want to come to them with an introduction. Hello, beautiful. You are beautiful. Male, female, you are beautiful. You are loved, and there is a purpose for you. So let's tap back into your unspeakable joy. Let's figure out what it is you want it to accomplish. And let's get back to that self-love. Are we protecting our time? Are we protecting our money? Are we protecting our energy? Are we learning what self-love means? If not, let me coach you. And then I'll go through it day in and day out until they realize how important they are to themselves. So whoever you are, if you're stuck in your mountain, never forget to tap back into that unspeakable joy. There it is.
Amen. And Miss Timolin Atkins. All right, amen. So everything that everyone said is a piggyback off of what everyone said. But to me, it is baby steps of looking at yourself, and we say self-love, but truly learning to love yourself like you want others to love you and how you want to reciprocate love back to them. When you get that down in you of loving yourself like that, you're open to whomever steps into your life that God has put along this destiny journey for you to help you with those other things and other layers of challenges that we have. So for us to open up the word and to receive what God has for us, I don't think that, and even for myself, when I'm not loving myself, when I didn't have that love for myself, me reading the word was me reading the word, okay? But when I got to that level and where I got to that place where I truly love myself, I could receive all of what God was saying. I could receive all that what people were reciprocating on to me because I love myself that much to accept his word, his love, and what others want to put on to me, their love to me, and I can give it back to them. Amen. 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 Well, ladies, I'm going to just say my word, and then we are going to head out after I ask you the one last question. But I do want to say, as we take off the layers, God is so grateful that he replaces what even we give up. And so
He replaces it. And when we start taking off the layers, it allows us a level of increase, just like Timolin just said, a level of increase that we haven't even tapped into because we've been holding on to the old. And so I'm going to encourage everyone to step out of the old and start walking into the new. You know, the ministry is all about purpose. And so in order for you to get to the next level of your purpose, you have to start unlayering one by one, step by step, bit by bit. And working out, there's always going to be an opportunity for you to go in and start doing what you see the person next to you doing, but you don't know how long they've been doing that. So do like I do. Start off with 5 sit-ups and then do 10 and then do 15. It's okay. You see Paula G on don't be intimidated. Paula's been doing this for a long time. Oh. But you have to take the baby steps. Start unlayering one by one by one. And I could go somewhere else with this, but to everything there is a season, because you're not going to wear layers of clothes in the summer. You got to know when to start taking them off. You got to know when to start covering up. But you can cover up with dirty clothes, just not the funky ones, okay? But ladies, I want to thank you all for being a part of the Christian Party Line tonight. Again, shout out to V Speaks Life, Monique, Shalonda, Patrice, and Chanel Lynn Malloy. And I do want to say a special thank you to the ladies on the line tonight: Paula G, Voice Lady Wisdom After Midnight, Lakeisha Mosley, Kelly Holland, and Timolin Atkins of Tag Entertainment Group. I love you, ladies, and thank you so much for joining. And I have one last question. Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power?
I feel the power.
Yes. Yeah. Feel the power.
Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power. A double X.
Power21.org Internet Radio.
You are listening to Jerry Voice Live Worldwide Podcast.
That's right. You tell them, little buddy. Thank everybody for tuning in to Next Man Up, Late Night with Jerry Voice Live, and the Christian Party Line. That's right. It was triple podcast. That's right. Friday night triple podcast. Come on, Batman. You can do it. Yeah, they had me up late, but we can do it. But thank you so much. Join us next week. Right back again with the triple podcast on Friday night. That's right, with the ladies of Christian Radio right here. And don't forget about Next Man Up with Dr. Paul Kelly and Pastor Stephen and John E. Ross. All right, and you missed the Pro Fact out in Seattle. He'll be back. All right, everybody have a great weekend. And don't forget you can catch all of these podcasts on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Google Play, and Spreaker Radio. All right, and don't forget to come out to MVTV-21.com and check us out. We got a lot of stuff out there, y'all. A lot of content. That's right, come on out, y'all. All right, have a good night. We out here. Batman of Charm City.
Hey, my name is Davis and I'm from Haiti, but I live in Dominican Republic. I'm here, Positive Power 21, Jerry Was Live, Worldwide.
Adam, where art thou? I heard your voice in the garden, but I was afraid. So I hid myself because I was naked. Who